Just kind of auto-attacking him at this point, just saying, yeah, we're here, we're taking your red buff, and there's nothing you can do about it. But red team is going to
Yeah,
do
I'm
a
looking at it now.
return invade, to go in on that red buff of Olaf's.
Yeah, they're gonna go in there. Ash might check what it. She might get spot out there. She's attempting to, check out what's going on there. Besides that,
Cassidon, no trinket.
Cassidon, no trinket.
And two sleeping trinkets on red team. Surprisingly enough, a sleeping trinket on Lucian and not Leona. Leona actually starting with a Doran's Blade.
Yep, I was just about to mention that. He likes to try this Triforce Leona aspect. It's very strong kill potential lane. And as we see right now, there's a fight happening in the bottom lane.
I mean, yeah, like I said, there is no bad matchup for Lucian in the bottom lane.
Wow. So right away, Bangtor is already down a flash. Very scary. I mean,
and
the thing is, though,
he was forced to take cleanse because of that Leona.
It's funny because he didn't use it, and Leona had already used both of her summoners, so that's that's really good for her to sort of keep on to make sure that her survivability is a bit higher if another engage occurs.
We do see now. Cassidon has seen the Olaf. They know he's there. And speaking of this mid lane Cassidon, how does Cassidon and Syndra match up? I don't know mid lane matchups as well as I know bot lane matchups. So
generally, I mean, if you notice, there's a health difference between the two of them. However, if Syndra's using her range card
on the bot lane, Leona actually catching a grab onto Ashe, and actually Ashe will fall to the pure burst coming out from Lucian. Well played by the Lucian Leona.
I'm in lane too.
We have we have the jungler engaging here on the mid lane. Syndra actually just walking out and not busting a single summoner.
Wow. That was a bit scary there for Syndra. She immediately hightailed it back when she saw that Shyvana come in the lane with the red buff. Definitely don't want to get tagged down by that. It's gonna hurt, and just in general. But yeah, that mid lane matchup. I mean, if you notice, Cassidon did have a health advantage there, which is actually a bit strange considering that Syndra has all this range, and what she should essentially be doing in that lane is watching for whenever Cassidon goes for that CS and use your autos / harass to make Cassidon afraid to farm, because Cassidon's early laning phase is quite terrible without 6. Without 6, he can't do the things that Cassidon does, and what Syndra should be doing there. So it typically falls for Syndra a bit in there in the beginning, and Cassidon making her back quite early, so he's definitely doing a great job there in that lane.
So the other thing I would like to point out that because their mid laner wasn't available, they did put their normal top laner in the mid lane with their sub in the top lane. And here we go. We got an engage coming down onto this Cassidon. This Cassidon is in 6 shit. He's forced the bus flash, but
nice.
Syndra's flashing after him to pick that kill up with a Q and an ignite. And her Q's name is Darksphere. I don't play mid lanes. I own that skin, I own that champion, and I don't know what her abilities are.
Yeah, I mean, definitely learning the champions' abilities. Like, there's a bunch of them. I don't want to get the exact number, but it's whatever amount of champions, like ×4, plus possible like extras, because everybody's got 2 sets of abilities sometimes. I mean, some champions do, but
like
yeah,
Jace.
Definitely hard to learn those. Favorite champion, Jace. He's got 2 sets,
Jace.
so yeah.
Oh, we got the
oh man, here we got Iraqi Penguin.
Iraqi Penguin coming in strong, but that cleanse saving Ashe. You have to remember with cleanse, you do have a very strong tenacity bonus. I don't know why that ball didn't go. That was right in the center of that the pushback. I'm not sure why that didn't go. That's weird.
It's a bit strange, yeah. I mean, it's always hard to note. Sometimes a certain angle or graphical error occurs, but bottom lane definitely winning that out there. Going to be able to put some damage on that turret, even with Arctic Editor there saying, hey, back off. Doesn't matter. Bangtar does have the range to be able to mess with him there, which is essentially what he should be doing, putting some damage out on that turret, because objectives these days are so important, especially pre-season 4. That's what you're going to want to look out for there in the bottom lane. Now that Lucian and Leona are coming back, you know, it's going to be a bit scary. I mean, Leona did start Doran's Blade, meaning that she wanted to get that early kill, but she didn't. So, her power is set back a bit there. If she's going Triforce, like I suspect that she might, that early kill is very imperative to that strategy, because it gives you the gold and it gives you the ability to snowball. So now it's going to be a bit harder for that to happen. Still very possible, but just a bit harder.
I will disagree with you a little bit, mostly because she has, Leona has now picked up the Relic Shield, so,
Which sort of sets back the whole Triforce thing, which makes the Doran shield buy a bit, you know, less useful there. That's why, you know, it's a bit hard. It's always a bit hard to tell where the players are going to go with that.
Lucian, gold-wise, is actually only about 200 and some up on Ashe, and that is literally only First Blood. That is the only reason he is ahead of her in gold right now, is because of that First Blood bonus. Otherwise, she's ahead.
They're pretty much. Yeah.
They're pretty even.
They're pretty much doing even there. Yep, the 300 gold there. Relic Shield is definitely going to help push that up a bit. Not as much as it used to before the nerf, but still will aid him in that story there.
Malphite taking a tower shot as he's taunted back into the tower. Shen is going to chase this. Not anymore, but Shen was going to chase that. That could have actually spelled out a lot of problems for Malphite. Shen does have Stand United available to him. Not that he can use it on himself, but he does have it available for his teammates if things get a little bit hairy. But he does have Ignite if he decides to go in on Malphite. Syndra running a little bit low on mana here, and Kassadin is now level 6, which means Riftwalk is available to him.
Yeah, that means that his map presence has just grown immensely, and with the Kassadin, you got to be careful with that. However, they do have an answer to that, and that is Shen. Shen does have the teleport available, as in Stand United. He is level 7, so he's ready to follow wherever Kassadin is going to go. The only thing that's imperative to note as well is that Malphite just used TP. His TP is down, which means that if Shen does decide to chase Kassadin, Malphite can't follow, which is really good for Shen in that aspect, because he doesn't have to deal with Unstoppable Force on his face. That'll help him out quite a bit there, utilizing
so we see
that.
Leona jumping in onto Lucian, Ashe actually flashing out.
Oh!
And now we see the ult coming out from Lucian, but it's not going to really give him anything. Leona's ult is not available to her yet, as she's not 6. But Lucian's ult's down. That's going to lose out a lot of damage that they had in this lane.
Ashe just hit 6 too.
Yeah,
so
now they have Arrow and they don't have the Leona stun. This could be really dangerous for Lucian and Leona. If Taric and Ashe play this right, they will be able to pick up.
There it is!
There.
Oh!
The ult coming on Taric! Why? Why?
Oh my god. Wow.
Why?
I mean, it could have been a misclick. Could have been a misclick there. Never gonna know. You're not in the minds of the players, but why is the question we are asking?
No. I will know, because it's gonna come up in the friggin' recap that I do.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. You see, you may not know this, but I am Blue Dragon's new manager.
Yeah, you told me.
So...
Actually, yeah, you definitely told me. You're very excited about it too. But yeah, that is gonna be a question. What happened there? What's going on? That was a bit of a questionable decision. Oh, another engage here in the mid lane.
Syndra running for her life, but Riftwalk is available to Kassadin, and he will actually pick up that kill. Now Olaf has to run. He has busted Unstoppable Force. He is going to turn around and attack Kassadin. Riftwalk's not available to Kassadin just yet. Had that Shyvana not been there, I do believe Kassadin would have fallen.
Yeah, Cassidy did definitely pick up that Ruby Crystal, which is gonna help him against Olaf, considering that Olaf does true damage with his E. Definitely helped him sustain there a bit more in lane. But now he's picked up a Blasting Wand plus a Sapphire Crystal. No, that's against Syndra. And Syndra does have her Chalice, which is gonna help her with magic resist in general. But between the two of them, Kassadin has a bit more influence in the game just because of the fact that he's able to rift walk. So that's why the blue team has those wards in the river and in Dry Bush saying, "Wait, as soon as you leave, I'm gonna know." I don't want that to happen. That'll be pretty bad for them to get double killed there in the bottom lane. Definitely don't want to get caught up by the Leona solo fair.
So we've got an engage coming in on the top lane. Shen igniting Malphite, and he is gonna flash, and it's not gonna be enough. But whoa, wasted flash on Malphite's part. Shen still has flash available to him.
It's definitely interesting to note that Malphite built Glacial Shroud, and he also has a Total Biscuit of Rejuvenation, which means he went down the utility tree.
Really deeply.
Wow!
I might add. Whoa!
Wow.
First coming on to Kassadin, and will he? Oh no! The last tick of Ignite, picking Kassadin up for Syndra. That happened so fast, I didn't even see it. But we got Leona jumping in on Ashe. Ashe is just trying to kite this back. Lucian actually ulting and Tarek getting in the way, but stopped by the Ashe ult. Ashe arrow, and now they're just turning this around. Olaf is right there. Tarek is gonna stun the Lucian, and the axe is coming in. Picking up Leona very easily. Capital actually gonna pick up 1 kill. Not sure if this is gonna turn into a double kill, but no, it's not. Banks will pick up Lucian. We do have an engage coming into Syndra. Oh my, so many engages happening all at the same time. I cannot speak fast enough.
That was
actually having that Sunfire Cape. Why did I say Sunfire Cape? Having that DF sword, and she's actually going to be in trouble here. She does not have flash available to her to run away from this Kassadin, but she is just going to try and kite it back.
Couple seconds. Luckily, she didn't die there, but yeah, I mean, look at the blue team. They've warded all of the bottom side, but they didn't get top side. Of course, they're not going to be too scared of Malphite running his way down because it's going to take a bit of a while, considering that champion's a bit funky, and you generally don't have to worry too much about that. So they warded bottom side, but that was what allowed Shyvana to sort of come in there unnoticed. Didn't ward the corner where the wraiths are, or on the other side as well, so... Especially as Syndra, you want to make sure that you do that, considering that you don't have too many ways to disengage. Yes, you have your stun, which is absolutely wonderful, don't get me wrong, but you don't have those immediate blinks, like you don't have those dashes that Ezreal's have, that Captain Lyle has on Lucian. You don't have those things, so you got to be careful from that. You got to make sure you protect yourself, and you know, that's what's very imperative. I mean, Kassadin's warding up his lanes, and it's kind of ironic considering that he's the one that is very mobile, so yeah, top lane, another exchange.
Now, just as they keep duking this out here, I do believe... Now, Ignite is not available to Shen, but he will pick him up with a... Shen, are you seriously maxing your Q? You are seriously maxing your Q. I am so disappointed in you. So disappointed. No. Yeah, no. I mean, if you want to farm and flash, sure,
it's understandable because the other option would be to get Feint, and mitigating the damage from Malphite, who essentially isn't doing too much. It would be a bit, at least in my opinion, better to harass and sort of beat him down. I mean, he's taken Ignite, so he wants those kills.
Engage coming down the bottom lane.
Another fight happening here in the top lane.
Perfectly. Ashe going to actually not chase down the Lucian, but Tarek's gonna flash after him. Ashe actually getting picked up by Leona, and now Tarek is just saying, no, you're not going anywhere, you're mine, you killed my carry, I'm gonna take your life. Hopefully not tower diving for that, because he won't win that exchange. This mid tower, yeah, it's down. This mid tower is down.
Just about to say that, yeah, so, like, again, I mean, Leona's got
Kassadin actually getting engaged on here, forced to flash away as Riftwalk. Actually, Riftwalk was available to him. Why didn't he just Riftwalk? Anyway, that aside, he did bust flash. I'm not too sure why, but he busted flash. So, I mean, sorry, I'm gonna quickly touch back on Shen and Feint, and I played Shen a lot in the top lane. I mean, when I was trying to get out of bronze, that was one of my favorite champs to play in the top lane. And it's just, I don't know. I don't like Max
Oh.
and Q. Oh, but we do have an engage coming out. Shyvana
Oh my
actually
God.
forced to drag it out of there. Syndra busting ult to follow that up. But we have Lucian here and Leona coming in to try and stop this. But the stun coming down. Leona taking a lot of damage. The Shen ult's coming in onto Olaf. Olaf has busted Unstoppable Force, knowing that any CC coming out from Leona would have been mitigated. The shield came out just enough, just for the shield, and Shen is still up in the top lane, duking it out with his Malphite, who rushed a Frozen Gauntlet. Not too sure why, but they are just duking it out here. Oh, Lucian actually getting stunned by the Syndra, but able to pick up that ward anyway. Another ward coming down. Lucian getting chain CC'd. Oh, that was bad. Leona diving in, but to no avail as Kassadin and Shyvana did not follow that up. And my glasses are filthy because I can't see.
Wow.
Maybe you can give me a little bit of insight here. Why would Malphite rush Frozen Gauntlet against a Shen?
Quite honestly, he's also gone down the utility tree as well, which is a bit questionable. It may be to help him farm under the turret, considering that it does have that AoE proc, which does work a bit well with his kit, but he could be setting up for mid to late game, but he's already lost his lane quite heavily, so the decision is a bit questionable in general. Why he might be doing that, again, probably to help him farm a bit better. He's got 113 to 122 with 2 deaths, which is pretty decent considering that Shen's been in lane longer. Considering that obviously he's not dying. So what he might be setting up there is for that. Shen, you know, taking the Q, maxing it first was to do more damage, and it's generally not a bad decision because, like we had mentioned before, he went down the utility tree, which means he's not as tanky as he should be. And right there in the top lane and in the bottom lane, there are exchanges happening.
So the bot lane, we got Taric stunning down on Leona, and Leona actually is going to fall to Taric, which is a little bit strange as Syndra's ult was flying at her. A good try to counter-engage that engagement from Leona, but it was to no avail. And I do believe if they keep going like this, Lucian is going to fall to the 3 of them. He has gotten chain stunned from Syndra to Taric to Ashe, and they are going to chase this down. Banks are picking up the kill and not quite making it out. Taric is in trouble. That is going to be a Rift Walk onto Taric. There it is right there. Actually stunned out by Syndra. Oh, and coming in on Syndra, and there's just so much damage. She cannot get away from it as Flash was not available to her. But these 2 bruisers in the top lane are just going to take this tower down. They don't care the fact that Shyvana is sitting there clearing the minions.
I mean, even to further talk about the Frozen Gauntlet, because it's also imperative that I was mentioning it earlier, and then I think a fight broke out. Shen does a lot of magic damage, and Frozen Gauntlet gives you armor. Not the best decision there either. So giving you insight into that was a bit difficult for me because that is not the best decision. Though, yeah, touching upon that again. But here we have mid turret potentially.
Busted his ultimate and didn't get anything from it. AJY.
Another wasted resource there, but potentially.
Now let's remember how behind Blue Team was when they started this game. That first blood on Ashe, they were behind quite heavily in kills, and now by 1 dragon and a couple kills, they are now ahead in both gold and kills.
It's imperative to note how they're. Hold on, there's another exchange happening here in the bottom lane.
The cleanses are so beautiful. Lots of slows coming down to Leona. She is gonna fall over to AJ, who is now on a killing spree. Not too sure how I feel about that, but that's alright. Lucian just hightailing it out of there and going to take the White Wraith. Yeah,
I mean, Syndra has been dying, but she's also been killing the Kassadin at least 2 times, and was able to hinder that Riftwalk experience. And the same thing with Shen. Shen now has that that Stand United to help him get into got there, and that's what just makes or break team fights, especially with that Shen. Shen's just such a big factor with that. And it's already off. It's back off cooldown as well, and he's been doing very well in the top lane, meaning that Malphite hasn't been able to TP and leave, and without risk of losing his turret.
So we've got Syndra and Olaf just sitting in Shyvana's jungle at this point. They're backing off. They know the Kassadin's there. They know Shyvana's there. They don't want to tango with that. That's pretty lethal stuff. Dragon will be up in the next minute, 30 seconds.
Yeah, and just to go back to that, I mean, everyone's doing quite even. It's only a 2k difference between the teams and like a 4 kill difference, and the only lane that's essentially winning on blue side is just top lane. So that is just enough
And even then, it's not really quote unquote winning because no tower's gone down.
Exactly.
If you want to talk about winning, both mid and bot have already won their lanes.
So it's like it's interesting, like just that one little thing.
So we got Kassadin coming in on the top lane. Shen forced to shadow dash out of there, and he is just gonna keep running. They will not dive that. That's really good on Shen to know that he didn't have to bust flash to get away from that. He is very tanky at this point with the Spectre's cowl and the Sunfire cape. He is just a wealth of health.
Yeah, and he's gonna be that split pushing force in the top lane, which is what what Shen does pretty well. I mean, there are other champions who split push faster. Renekton, I can go on for days, but he's got the Sunfire cape, which means those waves are dying faster. And they've now sent 3 people up there to
take that tower,
take that turret for themselves. Yeah, so Shen finally saying, "I won."
Yes, we do see the 1v1 coming out here. Ashe attempting to kite that around, but Shyvana just showed up at the wrong time. Oh no.
Yeah, that's
Why are you going
a
static shiv? Why did you go static
a big
shiv
mistake
on
there. And
Ashe? Dave, please.
Static shiv.
Actually, I have found a small love for static shiv after how much I complained about it. I just don't. No, not on Ashe. No, not unless you plan on having that Avarice Blade sit there for a while. Honestly, if you're gonna have that sit there for a while, sure, why not? You're gonna have lots of gold income with your passive and that, the passive on Hawkshot. But if you're just gonna turn it right into a static shiv, why? Why bother?
Here we go.
The stun coming out onto Kassadin, and Kassadin's actually forced to flash and rip walk away. But Unstoppable Force coming in to stop that out. Leona's ult coming out. They are just going to chase down the Kassadin. He is actually quite low. No Ignite ticking out on him. He is actually going to make it out. Oh my god, this is moving around so much. Olaf chasing down this Malphite. Slow's coming out from Ashe to pick that up. Lucian actually getting taunted under tower. Shen is just so tanky at this point that Leona could not stop that. That was a very well played 2-for-0 even, and they didn't even get Dragon. Red team didn't even get to take Dragon, which is what blue team is rotating down for right now.
Yeah, blue team definitely doing a good job winning that team fight. There's not too much else to say about the execution. The execution was, okay, we see them, let's go. And they went in and they did it. Shen even still has a stand united, not even having to shield whoever was in danger. On top of that, we've got Malphite ulting only 2 targets, and using that, and the fact that he's behind and using the Frozen Gauntlet, it wasn't enough to help his team win that fight, essentially. So with that team comp, you want to wait until they grew up. I mean, that's what your team comp is made for. You have the Leona stun, you have the Malphite ult, you have the Shyvana ult. You want to catch at least 3 people, and if you are using AoE on 1 to 2 targets, you better make sure you kill them. So just to make it just so it's worth it, because if they're walking away, that AoE could have been used somewhere else, and that's just not what you want to be doing. So blue team having that area warded as well, which also goes back to what happened earlier when Lucian got caught out for some reason. He tried to kill the ward. He didn't see the 4 of them there because there was just no wards. So blue team having that warded out was able to help them win that fight as well. Just the fact that there are a lot of blind spots on the map, you got to be able to see.
Due to the lack of wards that supports can buy. I really don't like that change. I dislike that change so much.
The warding change? Yeah, I mean,
the little that people warded before, it just doesn't happen now.
Yeah, everyone's got to be responsible for that, and they try to make up for it with the trinkets, but everyone again has to get used to that. You've played the game almost 4 years the same way, and now you've to get into another habit. So it's a bit difficult here, but another exchange happening here in the bottom lane. Oh!
Counter engage trying to come out, missed with the arrow completely. Good attempt though. From both teams, and we do see the Eternity Force Leona that you were talking about. She does have Phage. She is building Sheen next.
Yeah, it's definitely worthy to note that players are playing champions obviously a bit differently with these new changes in Season 4, which is I always appreciate. But like I said before, she didn't really get it all. As nasty as that sounds, Ashe didn't even have to use cleanse in the beginning, so she wasn't able to snowball as hard as she would have liked in the very beginning. She even bought into Relic Shield as well.
I mean, even the fact of Cleanse and Barrier have become the most bought items. Oh, beautiful Rift Walk from Kassadin, missing that taunt. Well done to Kassadin. That was very well played. Anyway, as I was saying about Cleanse and Barrier, it has turned into you need one or the other. And if you don't have them, you are the most terrible AD carry anybody has ever seen in their lives. Because you miss out on 300 plus health when you're fighting somebody if you have Barrier, or you miss out on the tenacity and the removal of stuns and CC with Cleanse, you know? And it makes it so hard to fight against somebody if you're running Cleanse and they have Barrier, because they have that extra bit of health that you have to go through. But if you've got a CC heavy comp, like the one that Red Team is running, even with just Leona and the silence from Kassadin, Ashe doesn't have an escape besides Flash. Her only escape is her ability to kite back because of her slows. That is her only escape. So the fact Cleanse is just so good on her, but Lucian has the Barrier. It makes it hard to fight him.
Mm-hmm.
Not just because, you know, his inability to have a bad matchup in the lane, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it best there. That is going to be needed on, like you had mentioned before. I mean, Ashe does not want to use her ult to another
we
exchange
got an engage coming down. That Shyvana ult not actually catching anybody but Taric. Taric's just man-moding it, just keeping in there, keeping and taking that damage. Leona actually getting dragged back from the team.
This is the fight they want.
But Lucian picking up Taric, Kassadin picking up the Ashe. Shen, nowhere to be seen. Stand United not available to them yet. He is there now. He is waiting. Flash is available to him. He could flash on, but he's just getting stunned over the wall. Not actually catching Lucian with that stun, but catching the three others with the stun. Unstoppable Force is not available. Shyvana's Dragon is not available. They could win this 3v4 if they play it correctly. They don't have an AD carry, and Red Team does.
Yeah, definitely important to know that Shen has static shift. That's also yeah, it's also imperative to know that he is trying to split push to the best of his ability. That's what he wants to do, but he didn't have Stand United active, which is why they were like, oh hey, let's start this fight, because if we do, then he can't get to that, which was very nicely played out. But you know, Shen building, another exchange.
We got Olaf just going ham on Lucian and not actually going to be able to pick him up because of Leona and Malphite.
So here we have Red Team has got those wards out, even one in the middle of the lane. Just checking something. Taric's got a nice little armor buff for his team. It's 23.
Yep.
That's very nice for him. I was just looking at it. I was like, that is nice. But if you look, the only person that really affects is Lucian. Considering the fact that Leona is AP, Shyvana is a nice steal of hybrid damage. Even looking at Malphite's AP, Kassadin AP, that Taric buff sort of goes to waste a bit. And
well,
it's just a bit unfortunate.
No. I mean, auto attacks are still auto attacks.
Auto attacks are still auto attacks, but the fact that even on Kassadin and Shyvana, they've got that hybrid damage. So It's not as helping as much as it would have if the team comp for the red team was a bit different. Maybe if the top laner was AD, and maybe if the jungler was as well
Not
as
Shyvana.
not Shyvana. So thank you, because my brain had a stun there. But yeah, like that, it's just a bit of a shame. It's like, man, I just wish it'd be a bit more effective. But that is why Tarek has been doing well. It's because of the fact that, again, he's getting more gold. He's able to essentially shield his team a bit more against these AD comps. But red team responding, of course, never will know if it's on purpose or not, but responding well with the team comp that they're running, making Tarek a bit less effective than he could have been.
And I think that might come with having first pick Tarek. Instead of first picking Olaf. It's a bit of a trade-off. Maybe it'll pay off for them in the end, because Tarek's stuns come up really quickly when he's full build. The stuns are up almost every 2-3 seconds.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty strong. Tarek is really strong right now in the meta, the way they're playing it. We do see the Trinity Force on Leona. 32-minute Trinity Force.
Well, I did say it, so at least it did come true.
I wasn't surprised when it came out. It was just, he built a Trinity Force.
Trinity Force.
All right. Then.
Yeah, it's something new that he's been trying and experimenting with, and he's 3 to 5-4, so he's getting things done, just probably not as well as he would have hoped. However, if you look at the gold difference, they're about 300 gold apart, as well as 2 turrets to 3. So both teams are still pretty much even with each other, which is always going to lead to an exciting game. Both teams also have Locket, so the group 5v5s, they're both going to get that additive bonus from that Locket, which means red team probably wants to split them apart, mostly because, again, Tarek does still give his team something. It's not that it gives him nothing, I'm just saying, oh man, it's a bit of a shame, but it still gives them a bit of something there. So red team, if they want to execute blue team properly, definitely want to split them up. If you catch that Ashe alone, you better go ham on that girl, because what's going to happen is that
you're there. Stand United is not available, because
you want to take her out. You want to make sure she is gone, because a lot of DPS is going to be lost from that. Because Static Shiv, Static Shiv is going to be able to still travel, and with the IE, Static Shiv can proc a crit on its own. So you got to be careful with that. If she stays in the back and she uses those arrows like she wants to, which essentially means she's going to be picking the fights that she wants to pick, which means whoever is stunned is probably going to get bursted down to an oblivion, and we'll never see that person again. That's what the blue team is hoping for. I want to see how important it is that both teams are warding against each other. Say, hey, if you leave, I want to see where you go, and if you come back, I want to know where you're coming. So both teams doing a good job with that. Both teams actually warding up Baron as well, getting a bit of their wards on.
It's getting to that
side.
point where they won that Baron fight. And this is where it's so important. Look at the kill difference, and then look at the gold difference.
Yeah,
I know you mentioned this, but just look at it at this point. They got some really needed shutdowns. Is what happened with red team. They got those needed shutdowns. But the gold is 300. Well, 400. 400 gold difference. That's it. 400. And blue team's got 3 kills and 1 tower, but it's a 400 gold difference. And you want to know why? You want to know why it is? Look at the CS. Look at that creep score.
Yeah, gold it's just spread it out differently. It's not on the same champions that it would be for the opposite team. If you even look, Ashe and Lucian, they're quite even in gold, despite the fact that Ashe is down a couple 20 CS next to Lucian. So it's just interesting to look at how close everybody is, and how imperative it is to start these fights right. Because if you don't, the other team's gonna catch you and take you by storm. Shyvana picking up Randuin's Omen as well.
Oh god.
Once again, in the middle of that team, proc the Randuins, slowed the attack speed of pretty much Olaf.
Everybody.
Shen as well. And Shen did sell that Static Shiv.
It is actually going Trinity Force now.
It is handing her high. Yeah. It's all about to say. It's like he's deciding, hey, you know what? Maybe that's not the best option for me. Maybe let me go TF, stick on my targets a bit more.
I love
That
Trinity Force on Shen. I really do. Trinity Force on Shen is probably one of my favorite items.
Trinity Force on any champion. I just like Trinity Force
no,
in general.
I will not do. The only time I ever build Trinity Force on Vayne is when I'm playing her top. That is the only time I will build Trinity Force on Vayne. Otherwise, that is a no-go. She is not part of my Trinity Force trifecta.
Yeah, I was just expressing my love for Trinity Force in general. I don't play too many champions that utilize Trinity Force to the best of
Okay, Freak,
their
you need to calm down.
Uh-oh.
I mean, come on. What's Freak known for? Trinity Force and
Trinity
tons
Force
of damage.
and tons of damage. Yes, so I definitely got love for Trinity
For
Force.
those who don't know, if you search tons of damage in the shop, you will find Trinity Force. So we got an engage coming in from Shyvana. She is just running in. Oh, Dragon, but for the Shyvana push. Counter engage coming out from Ashe. Leona jumping in, but she is actually going to fall down. Banks are flashing over that red wall and just kiting this back. Shen in there and just tanking out a lot of damage, but not able to do anything. We may have a problem here as Cassidy Rift walks in, where he is actually gonna
oh my god, he's
Shyvana
melting.
actually picking up the Ashe. No, sorry. No, I was right. Okay, picking up the Ashe. But slash auto attack! Oh, Syndra didn't even know what hit her. That was a well played engage by red team, and there was just nothing they could do on blue team. They're just at this point, with the fact that Malphite is so tanky, that Shyvana is so tanky, that Lucian deals out so much damage, there's just nothing they could have done. This might be game. Oh no, they're actually just gonna back off.
Yeah, they're gonna back off there.
Malphite TPing top to go take that tower.
That was a very explosive fight. I mean, both champions have players that can dive the other carry. So now the question is, do I protect my carries or do I go for theirs? Which carry is doing more damage? How can I get to the back line and, essentially live? The thing about Lucian versus Ashe in general, Lucian just is able to pump out so much more DPS. While if you look at Ashe is more of a utility AD. Just the fact that she's got all those slows. Yes, she's got high DPS. That is not what's at stake here. But if you look at Lucian, he's very bursty. He essentially doesn't even need to be building attack speed at all because he's got the auto attack resets with double attacks that helps his attack speed anyway.
Wait. What do you mean he doesn't have to build attack speed? You know his ult scales off of attack speed, right?
No, yeah, but what I'm saying is that it's not as needed as it is another AD carry, just considering the fact that he's more on the bursty side of the AD carry spectrum. So even if you look, he only has boots, and that is enough to pump out a lot of DPS.
Boots and Trinity Force.
Beats and Trinity Force, but just in general, he can do really well with just straight damage because he's got the... Oh my god.
Tarek actually getting caught out, stunning the Shyvana and hopefully getting to where Ashe can just fight back from. Arrow coming out to try and stop it, but just not able to finish that up. That's a pretty heavy loss to them. That is one of their tanks.
Yeah, I mean, now we know that the Ashe arrow is down. Red team can now make a decision. They can decide. Yeah, Red team can now make a decision. They can decide, hey, we might want to wait this out and make another fight, Ashe arrow down, or we can do Baron because they can't stop us with that ult. They can't put us in the ground essentially, and they're doing the second option, which is try to catch one of them out. And there we go.
Leona coming in onto Syndra, just so much. No, I can't even cast this fast enough to figure out what is going on here. That Trinity Force Leona did work out a lot better than I was expecting. Wow. Just wow. That was a flawless engage. That was really well done on red team. And that is GG. Blue Dragon choosing to surrender instead of playing it out. Well done to both teams, though. Well done to both teams. That was a well-played game.
That game was fun. That game was fun to watch. I was learning a lot of things there as well, just watching what people were doing and questioning things and seeing what their mentality was, because honestly, that's the only way you're going to learn, just by seeing what other people are doing. Very interesting game, and Triforce Leona taking it away for her team. Obviously not the main factor. Not that she is the only factor, but there are a bunch of factors. Shyvana going 7-0 and 8 She never died. So, doing quite well for herself there. Very fun game to watch, and very fun game to cast.
So they do have the second game lobby set up. You should have an invite sitting in your invite folder, good sir.